For your next cardboard assignment, you are going to make a cardboard sculpture. So these are going to be real three-dimensional, not just the low relief assignments that we had before. It can be of anything, but it needs to be of something. We're not making abstract sculptures. I want to be able to tell what your sculpture is of. So here are a few examples from the internet. You literally can do anything. If you want to make a succulent, make me a succulent. If you want to create an animal, you can do that. Whatever you want is game. We're going to talk about some different ways that you can manipulate the cardboard to get it to do some interesting stuff once we actually get to constructing these, but we are starting with our brainstorming process. All right, so here's some project samples of what you could be making for this project. You are going to use a variety of cardboard, so that means corrugated cardboard, cardboard boxes from cans, things like that. Packing paper, so the paper that looks like it's cardboard, it's just not that stiff. And you are going to create a representational, which means it has to be something, sculpture of a subject of your choice. It needs to be at least 18 inches in height or width at some point. The whole thing doesn't need to be 18 inches, but it's going to be a large sculpture. It's going to be easier to work with cardboard and manipulate it if you're working with larger pieces. So we want to make sure that these are visually interesting and people have a lot to look at when they are looking at them. You are going to apply the techniques that we will talk about to this major project. You will organize and develop your artistic ideas and work. We're going to do thumbnails, final designs, things like that to make sure that you have a plan before you move forward and use the cardboard. You're incorporating a whole new material that you've only used limited and trying to take what you learned from your first project to make it a far more impressive sculpture with taking up three-dimensional space. And then at the end of the assignment, we will analyze how these turned out and maybe things that you learned throughout the assignment through reflection. So these are some simple directions. We're going to go into more detail about different techniques later on next week. But to succeed in this project, you're going to start by picking a subject. Figure out what you want to make. You don't have to be set on any one idea right away, but kind of looking at objects, things like that, that you would like to try to replicate, out of cardboard. Then you're going to create your thumbnail design. So you are going to come up with three thumbnail designs of your subject for whatever it is you want and what it would look like. So if you think about creating thumbnails for a cat, say you want to make a cat out of construction paper, maybe each thumbnail is your cat in a different pose and there are different things going on, right? Or say you want to make a telephone. Now, iPhones are very boring, but before the iPhone, way before the iPhone, we had some cool cell phones with that like flipped, and we had slide keyboards and things like that. And old phones had rotaries. We had a whole bunch of different styles of the phone. So maybe your three thumbnails would be three different styles of your cell phone or any telephone in history, right? So here's a thumbnail example of what I would be expecting for a drawing. Very basic. I have some cats in different poses. Nothing too crazy. I'm not looking at detail yet at this stage, but just so you get the idea of having your three thumbnails look different. Then you're going to choose whatever thumbnail you think you want to create in your drawing. You are going to create final design drawings for these sculptures, which means that you are going to design what your cardboard construction is probably going to look like when you look at your project from the front, from the back, and from the side. So if you're using a slotted method, right, maybe you want to make sure that we can see that you have slots that are slowly changing in size to make the bust of a head of an animal coming out of a wall, right? Or if you want to make it have a planar look, so that would be like very flat angular ideas. Maybe you want to create little triangles and build the whole thing out of triangles or something like that. So I want to be able to know how you're working with the cardboard. When you get the final design assignment, there will be an example of what I'm looking for, but it's going to be how you are planning on manipulating the cardboard to make the pose or whatever of your subject, how you are hoping it looks. This stage is going to be important for you to understand how to approach cutting your cardboard, what type of cardboard you think you need. You can use glue in this project, so kind of just remembering that maybe you need to figure out how to manipulate that, and just planning ahead. Then you are going to just start constructing. So it's going to be a self-explanatory, kind of exploratory situation where you're manipulating the cardboard however you think you need to get it to happen. We are going to have some mini like breakout sessions where you are practicing different ways to manipulate the cardboard, but whatever you think works best for you. So you're just trying to get this construction done to get the desired result that you want. My thought is this is going to take us a while, so we're going to work on these until the 17th, so St. Patrick's Day. Hopefully that's enough time. If we need to adjust, I will adjust as we go, but hopefully we will be able to work on these in class so that they can stay intact and not move too much. And then we will be ready to go to a different medium.